A shakeup at the Federal Trade Commission, President Trump firing the two Democratic commissioners. This is just the latest move drawing criticism about Trump's executive authority. Here now with more, we got Mozelle Thompson, former FTC Commissioner. Mozelle, great to have you to break down this move for us. So Trump firing two Democrats on the FTC. What does that tell you about what antitrust enforcement is going to look like moving forward under the Trump administration?
Well, one of the questions has always been is whether there's going to be some uncertainty or not. And this definitely injects uncertainty in there. You know, the FTC has been around for a long time, since 1914. And the FTC Act creates commissioners who serve in 7-year terms in a staggered basis, and that no more than 3 can be of one party. So this has been operating ever since 1914. And that there was a test about the principles and who can hire and fire directly by the Supreme Court in 1935, when FDR didn't like one of the commissioners of the opposing party and he wanted to fire him. And the Supreme Court ruled that absent inefficiency, abuse of office, or neglect, you can't fire him, in part because the FTC is not just, the commissioners don't all just serve in a policy role, they serve in a judicial manner. They sit as judges. And so that is so now the two commissioners who were fired are going to challenge the firing in court. In the meantime, there are 2 Republican commissioners who are sitting, and one more vacant seat, which has yet to be for a Republican, that has not been confirmed yet. So the question is, how will the FTC be able to act? They will not have enough commissioners there, and there'll be some question as to under what authority and what legitimacy.
So it sounds like there's the potential for quite the slowdown in deal making, at least in terms of approvals, if the picture you just painted did come to fruition. I'm curious about your broader outlook, though, for deal making under this administration. There was a lot of euphoria after the election about M&A under Trump and deregulation. And then we had news that the administration was actually going to be mirroring Biden-era regulatory practices. Where's your head at when it comes to what deal making is going to look like under Trump 2.0?
Well, I did notice that they've kept the merger guidelines, and so it looks like they're going through enforcement and they're continuing their enforcement action. But the devil's in the details. In other words, what are the possible off-ramps, the possible settlements for some of these cases? And what it appears to be is with the additional executive order that took place in February, where the president wants to take a higher control of independent agencies like the FTC, it looks like he's going to want to be the one who cuts deals for companies if they're under the scrutiny of the FTC, which in and of itself is unprecedented.
Unprecedented is such that can be an exciting word and a scary word at the same time. And so it's something I definitely want to focus on. Uncertainty is definitely the theme that we've noticed today and within the markets. And I can see that within what's happening within the FTC and the regulatory environment. Do you think that there'll still be some checks and balances because there is an adoption of that previous policy? But if there is this thought of perhaps deal making on a higher level on the executive branch, what's the path forward there?
Well, I am not sure what the end game is here. You know, because of the ability to get a majority for your party on the commission when you come into office, that he was going to have a clear majority, President Trump, anyway. So by firing the 2 Democrats, I'm wondering, what is it that he's trying to avoid? He's going to get what he wants. Is it because he wants to avoid scrutiny or questioning? That is a bigger challenge. So that's going to definitely go up the courts. And in the meantime, what the market is going to see is this level of investigation, whether it comes to fruition into actual enforcement action or not, we'll have to see. And we're going to have to see that if there comes a point when people want to settle some of these cases, including some of the big tech cases, what that's going to look like, who's going to be involved.
All right, Mozelle, we got to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.